wa sahbihi ajma'een. We begin in the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, creator of the heavens and the earth, our sustainer, nourisher and cherisher, and to whom all praise and glory belongs. And we send our countless blessings, greetings, salutations and praise upon the master of mankind, the very best of creation, Muhammad Mustafa Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Beloved listeners of Ramadan FM, it is 5:05, which means it's another episode of Drive Time. And before we start, I want to extend to you the universal greeting of peace, which is Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I hope the blessings of the Almighty are showered down upon you like the rain is showering upon us right now in Leicester. And I hope you're having a good day, and I hope the kids are behaving themselves. It is, of course, the spring break. And if they're not behaving themselves, I hope they're revising. And if not revising, what are you doing right now? Okay, so get your act together and make it happen. Folks, it is another Drive Time. It's Brother Irfhan in the hot seat. And today's studio guest is a certified local Leicester legend. She's been cooking up a storm since 2014 and now needs a bigger kitchen. From her blog posts, advice and culinary tips, she has come up with her own recipe for success. A massively popular British Asian influencer who has impeccable taste, with 250,000 followers and 14 million video views. She's a wife, mum, British Muslim Award winner, and now best-selling author. It is, of course, the sassy, classy cooking queen herself, Anisa Karolia, aka Anisagrams. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Wa alaikum salam. How are you? And how is Ramadan?
It's good. How are you?
Thank you for the introduction.
Do you like that? Yeah?
It's amazing. Thank you.
Jazakallah.
You're too kind.
Sister Anisa, we're joined by Brother Adam, your husband. Wa alaikum salam. Adam, how are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm good, thank you.
Okay, now Adam, I'm going to start. I'm saying, right, you know what? They say, the old saying goes that a way to a man's heart is through his stomach. You must be a really happy man right now.
Yeah, well, as long as I get things done in the house, then I get fed, so.
That's it.
You know your place.
We have.
Good, I like that. A man who knows his place, mashallah, good. Sister Anisa, welcome to Drive Time. Thank you so much for coming on the program. Really,
thank you for inviting me.
No, we're delighted to have you, and I think it's really important that we get local celebrities like yourself coming on and talking about what they've been doing. But first of all, congratulations on the publication and the subsequent success of your brand new Ramadan cookbook.
Thank you.
For those of us who don't know and have been living on a different planet, tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, where have you been?
Exactly.
You know? So do you want me to tell you about my journey first, how it started?
Yeah, let's start with that. So, you know, for those who don't know about the Anisa story, give us a quick insight.
So I'd probably say, like you say, I started 2014, just a humble Instagram page, sharing food pictures of what I used to cook for my family.
Yeah.
And obviously had no intention of doing where I am, basically. I didn't know what I was doing, to be honest, because we were just learning, weren't we, Adam? And so sharing pictures, and I had my friends from school saying, why don't you share, you know, step-by-step YouTube videos? And I'm like, how could you even suggest that? You know, surely you know me, that this is not me. I am not that confident to do that. And they're like, no. So I think I had that help and push from my friends. And I spoke to Adam. I said, what do you think? He's like, go for it. And even up to this day, he's always been...
Well, you know why he said go for it? Because he gets to try out all these delicious dishes.
I think that's probably why.
That's
You're
what
right.
it is. He's smiling right now.
Yeah, you're not the first one to mention that, actually.
Yeah,
So.
okay.
So he's like, I think you really should, and I think it's really great. So we researched into how to, you know, what we need, how to get into YouTube, obviously early days. And then we started sharing really basic YouTube videos, just pictures, some text. Honestly, they're really cringy, so I wouldn't even look at them. But I guess you got to start somewhere. So starting from that, we then moved on to a little bit of talking, you know, just being in the video. And slowly, we started pushing out, you know, videos like every week. I think it was hard initially in the beginning, wasn't it? Because we really didn't know what we was doing. I think it's more like learning about the lighting, reading up on a lot of stuff. We didn't have the equipment because we didn't know whether it was going to be a permanent thing. So we didn't want to go all out, you know, buying expensive stuff.
That's right.
And I think even now we've not really...
For anyone who's old school, we used to use Windows Movie Maker.
Oh, that is old school.
That's very old school. So that's what we used to use to create the videos. and we had, I can't remember if it was a camera phone or whether it was just a basic camera that we used to use. And like Anisa says, they were really, really cringy. We've kept them up there. Just
to see.
Just to remind us where we started, basically.
It's like when you look back through the family photo
like
and think,
that,
oh my God, did I really have that hairstyle? Did I really wear those clothes?
Exactly. So I think that's when it started. And with the feedback that we had from people sharing their pictures, the video, of what they've created, what their children have made, I think that's probably what kept me going. And it was really nice to know that people are making these recipes, and I could relate to a lot of people with the kind of food that I grew up with.
Yeah.
And I think that was really important because I felt that I want to keep that tradition of what I grew up with. And it was nice, like just basic curries even, so there's also like people don't know how to even like maybe like cut an onion as well. So it was nice.
Me, yeah, talking to me right now, okay.
So, people messaging me, telling me, it's really good that you're sharing this. My daughter's learning from this. And I think it was more helping like students, also like newlyweds, and all the positive feedback. And they were like, just carry on, just keep doing what you're doing. Yeah. And obviously, in the beginning, you do get the people, why are you doing this? Or YouTube's not for Muslim people or Muslim women. And
you're always going to get naysayers.
You get a few, exactly. And I think that's probably pushed us more, hasn't it?
I think initially it did wear down a little bit. And Anisa was like, should we carry on? Should we not? And I was like, no, just go for it, because you're not doing anything wrong. You're sharing recipes. People like looking at recipes. And at the end of the day, if someone makes some food, you'll get reward for it.
And it's a life skill, isn't it, as well?
It is a life skill. And I think that's really important, because I've seen, over the last few years, we've seen an emergence of sort of social media chefs and cooks, and they love showing, and people look at that and think, oh, I can do that, I'd like to try that, or I'll give that a go. And from there it builds and it evolves. So yeah, you're absolutely right, it's a fantastic life skill to have. So if my kids are listening right now,
what are you doing?
What are you doing?
Prepare the iftar.
Prepare. So from there, now obviously you've built up a following, mashallah, and it's a really strong following, very popular on YouTube, very popular on Instagram, and it's now led to this publication of the book. Tell us about, was that part of the plan for you to write a book? Were you thinking, okay, after this long, we're going to move into writing a book, and then, or was it just, okay, that sounds like a good idea, I'll do a book?
It was funny because when we started, again, like I said before, we didn't know what we were doing. We were just, with me, I think we just take each day as it comes. And again, with the opportunities that came our way, we were like, oh, alhamdulillah, So we've, even up to this day now, I do the same thing. So when people say, well, what are you going to do next? And I'll be like, honestly, I don't know. I don't have a clue. I don't know what I'm doing. And I think in this whole journey, I've really not known what I've been doing. We just kind of plodded along. And
with the book as well. So I was just going to say that it was always a dream of Anisa's to have a cookbook, recipe book. She used to talk about it for ages, saying, I wish I could do a cookbook, but we didn't know the first thing about it. It was all new to us. So we just carried on doing YouTube and Instagram and just the usual stuff. And then, last year happened.
Yes.
A bit closer to you, I don't know. So that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you got the phone call from the publisher Penguin saying, hey, we think you could make a really good cookbook, what's going through your mind?
I think what really happened was an email came through. Obviously, we get lots of emails, so I've got a few email accounts. So I don't even think I looked at it, did I? And Adam kind of looked at it, and
we just thought it was like a scam email.
Honestly,
email, like a fake email. Because we get loads like that asking us to collaborate with her or work with her on certain things or projects or whatever. So we just sort of ignored it initially.
Yeah. So we got our agent, because I've got an agent who kind of looks through all the emails and everything.
Agent, wow.
We've had them for a few years now. So, and we said, is this legit?
Yeah, shout out to Saiful and Omar.
Yeah. Great guys.
And then it just sort of went, once they verified it, you thought, okay. And how long did it go from the initial request to collaborate to having a fully ready published book?
I'd probably say it took about just under a year. From start to finish. And so we were planning on going, and obviously we went on holiday, and it was before then. And I was just like, oh, I've got to do this book when I get back. So the holiday was a little bit, you know,
stressful.
And Adam's like, don't worry about it.
Yeah, because it was already booked in. The holiday wasn't it?
Yeah. So we got home and slowly we started, you know, well, me sitting down in the evening when everyone was sleeping, because that's probably when, you know, you can sort of think.
The quiet time.
Exactly. Because I work as well. So it's like in and out. It's just too much.
Really? What's the day job?
My day job is I work as a midday supervisor in a special needs school.
Oh, mashallah.
So I've been doing that for about 4.5 years now.
Okay.
So it's something that I enjoy because I like interacting as well, because social media is just social media.
Yeah.
It's not
online world,
it's the online world.
It's a persona that you put out there, but this is the real you, right?
Yeah, exactly. So, I used to do lots of coffee, you know, trying to keep awake, and pen to paper. And then Adam's like, why don't you, you need to type all this up. I'm like, yeah, I will do that. So I would I'd create these recipes, type them up, and then we'd send it over to our publishers, and they'd have the proofreaders who would check everything, make sure everything's okay.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of deadlines. So I found that challenging because they would want recipes, pictures, because I would create them at home, send that over, and then they will obviously, they've had a slot that they've booked in somebody to take pictures of all the food.
Yeah.
So somebody would need to obviously create them.
And we'd send them photos of what it should look like. So she'd make it, we'd take pictures and send it over, and then they'd recreate that basically in their own stylistic way.
So what you see in the book is what they have created.
Done. Right.
So then, yes, I found obviously typing things online, it's quite casual. You can sort of maybe write it like, I'd probably say like a lazy way, you won't write all the steps.
On social media,
because people might message you anyway, or if they're not sure about something, they'll be like, okay, so, Anisa, I didn't know, what does that mean? So then I think writing step by step everything for a book was quite challenging, because no one's going to really know.
You have to be quite thorough.
Yeah.
And cover everything.
You've got to. It's meticulous, isn't it?
Exactly.
Very, very precise.
Okay. We had a copywriter who'd look through everything, and she'd come back with questions every other day, just asking us to clarify things, confirm things, because obviously we're talking about it from an Indian sort of cooking background, and they might be not so used to that kind of cooking. So there's things that we're used to.
It's for a global audience, isn't it? It's not just for a target audience. It's for anyone. For
anyone. Yeah. But some of the things, they might not be used to that kind of terminology or wording, but we're used to it because we say it every day in our day-to-day life. Yeah, so we had to think about some of those things. And I think there was a bit of pressure as well, because it was a Ramadan cookbook. It had to be done before Ramadan started.
Timing is crucial, right?
Yeah,
absolutely.
That was the whole point.
Because they said that they couldn't find a book for Ramadan. And we did our research and we couldn't find one either.
There you go. You see, just leading the way, mashallah.
So we were quite surprised. We're like, really?
Yeah, it was quite shocking actually that we couldn't see one.
So this book is for Ramadan as well as throughout the year.
Yeah. Okay, brilliant. Right, we've got some text coming in for you, Anisa. Salams, love your recipes. Congratulations on your book, mashallah. And that's from Anika Ahmed.
Oh, thanks so much, Anika. I hope you're having a lovely Ramadan so far.
Good. Right, let's talk a bit about you now, you guys, and the whole cooking and what it means to you sort of thing. How's life changed for you? Has it changed? Does it feel like you wake up thinking, am I really in this world right now? Is it a bit surreal? Have you now employed Adam as your PA? What's going on?
I've always been her PA.
we all are, mate. Don't worry about that. Yeah. Go on, Anisa.
Especially since working from home, I'm her glorified receptionist, because she gets all the clothing
Adam,
deliveries.
can you just speak to this person?
Letting a lot out now, saying I order a lot of
the
stuff.
shoes and dresses and things. I have to keep answering the door.
Yeah, but no, seriously, Anisa, what's life like for you right now?
I don't know. I'm not sure how I feel. It's like I'm really...
Are you enjoying it?
I am enjoying it, alhamdulillah, of course. I'm so grateful. But people who know me, they'll know that what kind of a person I am. It's like, I guess that's probably where my daughter gets it from.
Are you slightly embarrassed by it? Because you get all this attention, you think, I'm not sure what to do with it.
I do, yeah. I guess I do get some of that as well. And I do get people telling me, how do you feel? Like people looking at you or anything. And I'm like, I'm okay,
It's socially awkward. Is that the term?
I'm not that. I'm quite sociable, thank you. But yeah, I think it's just a pinch me moment. Like, you know, when people sort of say, oh, you know, your book's on the shelf. And it's like,
what's it like when you're walking through a town or High Cross and all of a sudden you see your face on your book and it's there sort of next to Gordon Ramsay or Jamie Oliver and stuff?
Yeah, it is. You know, I get really excited.
Yeah.
You know, of course, it's just an amazing feeling, you know.
That's brilliant. You should embrace it because, you know, alhamdulillah, it's a combination of your hard work and achievement. So, all right. So, and obviously with this success, mashallah, alhamdulillah, and long may it continue, it opens doors and opportunities. You have the chance to go to events that you perhaps wouldn't go to if you weren't, you know, as well known.
Meeting people,
rubbing shoulders with the great and the good. I saw pictures of you guys at the iftar in Westminster. What was that like? Who did you bump into there?
Oh, we bumped into a few really amazing people down there. We met the doctor. Is it Dr. Nigat? That's on this morning.
Yes,
she's amazing. Yeah. Also, one of the chefs, Asma. She's got a restaurant as well. Asma Khan.
The one in Covent Garden. I've been to her restaurant.
Yeah. We've met her before.
Darjeeling Express. That's the one.
Yeah. Yes. And we met, of course, Zara Mohammed as well.
Don't forget the youngsters will know Harris J. He was there.
Oh, Harris he's the Nasheed artist, right?
Yeah, so he was there as well. So, yeah.
Okay. Right, guys. So you probably know. Hold on. We've got another text coming in. Couple of texts. How did you find a publisher for your book? I think you mentioned that you just got an email from the publisher.
They approached me.
Rather than you going looking for one.
That's right.
And we've got some messages from Farida Patel. Salams Anisa. Me and my daughter love the book and the recipes we've made so far are delicious. I've also known Anisa for years and alhamdulillah, she's the same elegant Anisa I've known. Keep going and can't wait to see what's next.
Oh, thanks for that.
Mashallah, great couple. So you getting some love as well, Adam, now, you know. Yeah. Anisa, congrats on the book and all your amazing achievements, mashallah. That's from Sister Rehana Sidat, who's herself doing some amazing work really in the mental health space.
Yes, she is.
So I wanted to bring to your attention, guys, I didn't even know this thing was a thing, right? So this week in Ramadan is National Samosa Week.
Yes.
Like my mind was blown. I'm thinking, is that even a thing? They have a week just for samosas.
Yeah.
It's been going on for a few years now. Yeah.
As it, so like, I need to get out a bit more because all these things are passing.
Right, from last week. You're going to learn a lot.
I know I'm going to learn a lot. Yeah. But samosas, you know, this humble triangular pastry has now become an iconic staple of British Asian cuisine. Yeah. And we have so many different types of samosas. We have
different fillings.
Like, so I always know, because like I'm not Gujarati, so whenever we get plates from neighbours who are Gujarati, their samosas are really small.
Yes.
And then you get like the Punjabi samosas, which are sort of like a Toblerone, yeah? You can't even get it in your mouth.
You've got a half that.
With the thick pastry.
Yeah.
But what are your feelings on the humble samosa?
I think they're the best. You know, samosas are just a family. It's everything, honestly, because we love it.
Because like my brother and I, it's not Ramadan if there's no samosas on the table. It's not
100%.
iftar.
No.
Yeah. But now, because I'm getting on a bit and I want to control my weight, the air fryer. I love air fryers.
Yes.
Game changer.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
We've got an air fryer. I think most households have an air fryer now. I think obviously a long time ago, there wasn't that option where people had an air fryer, so they would be just frying. But now we definitely have seen the shift, and we've made that shift as well in using our air fryer every single day.
Yeah.
We've been doing that. So some of the members of the family will have fried. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Because they absolutely hate air fried.
Don't worry, they'll change in time. Give it time.
We've been having it air fried for about the last 3-4 Ramzans now.
Yeah.
Air fried.
Yeah.
All the samosas and spring rolls.
Everything,
even burgers and chips, like even outside of Ramadan, it's all in the air fryer.
Yeah. Okay, right. So this is Ramadan FM. It is Drive Time. I'm joined by Mr. and Mrs. Adam Karolia. Anisa Karolia, aka Anisa Grams, is in the house right now. If you've got a question or a text, drop me a note on 077 488 55055. They're answering questions and talking about their experiences for the next 25 minutes or so. We've got like an essay that's come through. Salams Anisa, lovely to hear you speaking to my husband when so this is from my wife.
Oh, lovely.
Okay,
that's
so
nice.
Salams, love to hear you speaking to my husband, that's me. I've always followed your recipes on Instagram, wish you a lot more success. I have a question. When would you suggest to start Eid baking, especially when we have to go to work and want to try and keep everything fresh?
Great question, and thank you so much. I have actually started
You've started.
Today.
Not messing about.
I've started
So
today.
1 week before is the...
I would say 1 week before. So I've done my one batch today.
What have you done?
I've made dates and pecan shortbread.
Okay.
And what I do is I just make sure that you have a container that is properly sealed, wrap it up in cling film, and just put it away.
Okay.
And don't open it.
Don't, just leave it.
Just leave it.
Leave it for a week.
Yeah.
You forgot the part about the shopping to get the ingredients.
Oh yeah.
That's your job, Adam.
Yeah.
We already did that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because the butter and everything.
You always like today. I was at the shops. That's why I was like running around. I was at supermarkets trying to get bits and bobs for it. It happens, but yeah, try and get your ingredients. You're right.
Yeah, get everything done. So Azina, I know you're listening. So you heard it here first on my show with Anisa. Start now. Honestly, it goes mad in our kitchen. I stay away between now and Eid. Yeah.
Oh, bless.
Have you tried chocolate samosas, and what are your thoughts?
Oh.
No, it's
sorry,
just
I'm not a chocolate.
wrong.
No, it's just a samosa's savoury. I'm sorry.
Okay, right. So I've got a bit of a quick fire round for you now, Anisa. You ready? So I want you to give me the first answer that comes into your head.
Okay, go on.
Okay.
I'll try.
Culinary hero.
Indian Delights.
I'm talking chef.
Oh.
Your favorite chef.
Nadia Hussain.
Nadia said, okay. Your go-to food.
Butter chicken.
Butter chicken. Best place you've eaten.
Toro's.
Do you know what?
Is that wrong answer?
Okay, no.
Right answer.
Right answer. Favorite ingredient.
I don't know.
I don't know. Okay, all right. We'll come back to that one. I'll come back to that one. Okay.
On the spot. Come on.
Well, quick fire round. That's the whole point.
I'm a bit slow.
So I'm of a certain age, as you can tell. Born and grew up here in Leicester in the 80s, and I remember sitting on a Sunday afternoon with my parents watching TV, and the only person who'd come on the TV would be like Madhu Jaffrey. Do you remember Madhu Jaffrey?
Yes.
Yeah.
And she'd make like the driest Indian dishes that were known to man. But obviously since then, with the advent of social media, things have come a long way, and we're seeing wonderfully talented sisters emerge and beginning to showcase their talents. What is your take on that?
Sorry, say that again. Sorry.
Okay, I'm just saying that we're seeing more and more people now embrace social media to showcase their talents.
Yeah.
And you could probably be regarded as one of the first, or the early few adopters of that. What are your thoughts on what you're seeing right now coming through? I
think it's really, really, really good. What I'm seeing. I get really happy, to see people actually getting into cooking, getting into the kitchen. And I think, I don't know, maybe before people, maybe they felt that there's a barrier, of getting into the kitchen, or they might feel like intimidated. So personally myself,
I think it is intimidating on that point, because sometimes I'm looking at this, and I get worried about the right measurements.
Yeah,
that's my thing. Unless somebody's given me the measurements, I'm struggling, thinking, okay, what if I completely mess this up?
Yeah, I think more with baking. That's how I feel. I think you got to follow the recipe, with the cakes and the biscuits and the right amount. But with me now, I think even before, like with my grandmother, when I used to cook, she didn't have a cookbook. She didn't have nothing to write in, no recipes. With me, I had to have a recipe book. I guess even my mom having a recipe book, so I kind of followed that. But personally as well, like when I made sure that when I wrote these recipes as well, and wanted to keep them easy. So even on my social media, all the recipes that I share, I want people to get in the kitchen, not to feel scared, try and use the ingredients that they have in their own cupboard, so they don't have to feel like, oh, I can't be bothered. There's no excuse.
One thing I've noticed is that over the last few years, the types of people that are getting involved in cooking are getting younger and younger, which is nice to see as well.
I think that's an important point you make, because I think before growing up, it was traditionally seen as a female thing to do.
Yeah. And we left it to mum.
Yeah, left it to mum, especially us Asians,
that's
right?
Changed, though,
that's changed.
That's changed.
But now I think it's a way of allowing people to express themselves, because you talk a lot about your identity. So born and raised here, British, Indian heritage, and also African as well. So you're trying to combine the best of all those worlds in your food.
Yeah.
And do you feel that's a way of expressing who you are as an identity?
Yeah, definitely. I think so, yeah. And I think he's tried to keep that as well. Try and keep those, you know, recipes and the cuisine and the dishes that we do.
It's a legacy.
Exactly.
And sometimes we get messages from people saying, "Oh, my mum used to make this. I've not had it for ages," and they've not known how to make it.
Yeah.
But now they know how to make it.
And it's like someone passed away, you know, and who used to make that. Like their mom's passed away, the grandmother, or even their dad or someone, and they'd say, "Oh, you know, I really wanted to make that, but I never actually watched them make it, or I never kept the recipe. But you are showing this, and I've made it," and it brings back memories for them.
Because with food, there's emotions attached to it, and there's feelings, and it sparks, you know, a nostalgic memory or a happy time with
definitely.
grandparents or loved ones. So it's connected very tight. Okay, right, got some more text coming in for you, Anisa.
Wow. Okay.
The Anisa fan club. Anisa is one of the modest, humble people I know. She has time for anyone, anytime. Anisa, this Ramadan, your recipes have pushed my girls in the kitchen and I'm loving it, mashallah. If anyone's not got the book yet, please get it. It's not just for Ramadan, it's every day. That's right. A book is not just for Eid, it's for the whole year.
Yeah.
It's everyday cooking from khichdi curry to faluda. Adam and Anisa, you guys are the best. Love you. From Taz.
Thank you so much. Oh, thank you, Taz. Oh, yeah. Our girls have been making things, and that she's been, you know, Taz has been sending me pictures. And they're so young, and I've been sharing them, and I like to do that. I like people trying it out. I love sharing, so it inspires more people.
Absolutely.
And I think for us, for Anisa, I guess, it's what makes it all worthwhile. Seeing, you know, young kids like 10, 11, 12-year-olds cooking from such a young age, and it's skills that they'll take with them throughout their life. You know, when they're at uni, even if they go away from Leicester for uni, at least they know how to, you know, look after themselves. They can cook for themselves.
They don't really do much teaching of cooking in schools anymore. I remember when I was at school, we'd have cooking class.
Yeah.
So once a week, you'd you know, the dinner lady would take you and you'd cook biscuits or cake or something.
We did. Yeah.
And
apple crumble I made.
But I don't seem to think that, you know, I don't know what's happening with it, but with the system, but it doesn't feel like there's an emphasis that much on these life skills.
Yeah, I think they tried to. Judge Meadow actually tried to get Anisa to do some cooking lessons there, but just trying to work it out.
Okay. Right. Okay, got another couple of questions for you, Anisa. Okay. What is your food heaven?
Oh, it has to be puff pastry. So chicken and cheese pastries.
Chicken and cheese pastry. And what is your food hell?
Chocolate samosas.
Chocolate samosas. You heard it here first, folks. Anisa Karolia, aka Anisa Grams, doesn't want chocolate samosas for Eid, right?
No, thank you.
No, thank you. You just don't like chocolate?
No, I don't. I'm not a chocolate person, no. And especially not chocolate samosas.
Chocolate is my friend and my enemy at the same time.
Yeah.
Can I give you my answer for chocolate hell?
Go on then.
Not chocolate hell, food hell. Karelu.
Okay, you're opening up a can of worms here, brother Adam.
That's my favourite, actually.
You need to tread carefully here, brother.
One of my favourites.
Yes.
All right, on that though, I want to ask you, Adam, no pressure, what is the favourite dish your missus makes for you? Your favourite dish, like you can just eat it anytime, all the time.
It has to be butter chicken.
Butter chicken.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
Yeah. Anything else? No.
Well, everything she makes is nice.
Everything. Oh, good answer.
Being nice.
Right answer. Right answer. You're going to get fed tonight, mate. No problem. Okay.
If that is sorted.
So, Anisa, we got about 17 minutes left of the program. You've been getting a lot of love from Jamie Oliver at the moment. He's been promoting your stuff.
He has.
That's immense.
Adam showed me. He's like, oh my god.
Is
that really Jamie? Like,
have you spoken to any of these like top chefs or met
Jamie.
them? Have they reached out to you and said, "Hey, why don't you come on the show? Let's do something"?
I'm still waiting.
Still waiting.
Yeah. Maybe they've not lost my number. I don't know.
Jamie Oliver, if you're listening, send me a text on 077 488 55055.
Yeah.
But who do you like of the sort of the most high profile chefs that we have?
I do like Mary Berry. I do watch her stuff, baking stuff. I've also really liked Gary Rhodes. He's not here, but growing up, I used to watch him because my mom used to love watching these cooking.
He was really cool. I remember Gary Rhodes.
Really nice. You know, the way he would cook, the way he would show things. It's a shame he's not around.
Was he the guy with the big hair?
The spiky hair.
He's quite a cool guy. Nadia Hussain I mentioned. She's really good as well.
Because her story is kind of similar to yours. Yeah. She started off as someone who wasn't very confident in her ability, went on to Bake Off, and it just blew up after she won the contest. Have you had a chance to meet her or speak to her?
No, I haven't. I'd like to, but
okay. So Nadia and Jamie, get in touch. What are you doing? You're missing out here. But in terms of what is next for Anisa Grams, if the offer of a TV series came up,
Yeah, I'd love to, of
You'd
course.
love to do it, yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to. That's probably one thing I'd love to do.
Yeah.
If the opportunity does come.
And on the back
Share
of the book, you sound like you become really confident, and you know what is expected of you now.
Yeah, I think I'll be I'll be all right. Just
I'll be all right. Don't worry about
Jamie, Nadia, collabing with them. Amazing. Yeah.
You've collabed with quite a few brands, Marks and Spencer's, Asda, Lidl, to name a few.
Yeah.
What's that been like?
Again, that happened as well. Once I started this blog, I'm not expecting anything. And then working, obviously having an agent, and then they kind of like bring the work in. So it's been quite a journey, working with these amazing brands. And
you always remember the first brand work that we did was a few years ago with Rubicon. I remember the drinks.
Rubicon, yeah.
Yeah, the exotic drinks. That was a Ramadan campaign.
That was a Ramadan.
That was really exciting because that was our first one. We were
I was like, wow.
Wow. They actually want to work with us type thing. And now it's, yeah.
And I was like, yeah, it's just Rubicon. I'll wait for Coke, yeah. Right, I had a question, but it's good. But actually, no, okay, right. This is what I say. So my wife texted earlier because I told her today that, Anisa's coming on the program, and quite a few people are saying, oh, okay, an Instagram, we'll tune in. So like, they're tuning in for you guys, obviously not for me. My wife's always trying to get me in the kitchen, okay? She's like, you'd be an amazing cook, yeah. And I'm like, yeah, but I don't think you're ready for me yet.
Oh, no.
You're not ready for that level. But inshallah, I will. I've got some time off after Ramadan, so I'm going to get in the kitchen. So Azina, if you're listening, I promise I'm going to, you'll come home from work and I'll have like some sort of crispy chicken dish.
Three-course meal, yeah?
Three-course meal, right? And I recently started baking, and it took over my life. I had no idea how much of an impact because I found it really therapeutic. So, you're stressed out, and you get out the spoon in the bowl and you're mixing, you think, wow, this is really good therapy. But there's something about when someone eats what you've created and they enjoy it.
Yeah.
There's
satisfaction.
Because I'll bake something, and even if I don't eat it myself, I feel full knowing that someone's eaten it and they've enjoyed it. Is it the same for you?
Same thing. Exactly. Because when I make something, I'll be honest, I don't like to eat it. Isn't it, Adam?
Yeah.
I'll be just.
Do you prefer other people's food?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently
Honestly.
she prefers my cup of tea to hers, but I think it's just an excuse to get me to make more tea.
That's just lazy.
Even fruit as well. I'll be like, no, you cut it for me then,
My wife's
It
the
tastes
same.
so much better, honestly.
She's like, your green tea is off the charts. I'm like, okay, that's fine. But yeah, there's something about
It is.
giving joy to people through what you've created.
Yeah, I like it. It's having the meal there, and then the compliments afterwards. Your family, oh, that was really nice. And I get my family in as well. My children, they love to cook with me as well.
Okay, so they're cooking with you.
I would definitely say, like, again, with growing up with my parents, one thing I really like about what they did was they never discouraged me. So they always encouraged me to say, so if I made a mistake or if I couldn't fold the samosa properly, they wouldn't be like, oh, you're just wasting so many samosa sheets, bugger off. It was like, it's okay. Honestly, it's a patience and everything. Try again, that's fine. So I guess that's where I picked up the samosa filling as well. So I've got to give it to them, for what they did. And I do the same thing with my children. My daughter, she helped me in the kitchen. She dropped a whole jar of chili powder.
I remember that.
Chili powder.
And
Wow.
I was like, okay, it's fine. Don't worry about it. And she's like crying. I'm like, don't worry about it. It'll be fine. So I think you have to have that patience, and otherwise you're going to put them off, and they're going to think, forget this. I don't want to learn. I don't want to be in the kitchen. And that's the last thing you want to do.
I think that's with anything as well, though, isn't it? You've got to. It's you teach through love.
Yeah.
Teach through love, not.
Let them make mistakes. That's one thing I would say. If something they're not listening, or they think, okay, and you're like, all right, fine, you do it your way.
Yeah.
They've really got into cooking over the last couple of years, I would say. So the three of them, we've got 2 boys and a girl. They got in the kitchen. We'll just close the door and leave them to it. And sometimes we'll peek in through the door just to see how they're getting on.
They're not burnt anything.
They're not burnt anything, but it's sometimes they say, we should just make.
It's okay when the fire alarm hasn't gone off.
Yeah,
the
exactly,
smoke alarm has gone off.
But when they create the dish and we eat it, and you can just see the happiness in their face that we're enjoying their food, and they love it.
They'll be like, oh, do you want some more? Do you want some more? And like, yeah, I'll have some more.
Do you ever get tired and fed up thinking, oh, I don't want to go in the kitchen today?
I think think some days you do get that.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're human, aren't you?
I just get the Uber Eats app out.
Yeah,
And
we do that, and there's nothing wrong.
Yeah.
It's okay. Like some days we do feel that, and the children don't want to have. Sometimes we get fed up of our own cooking.
Yeah.
Honestly,
You want to try something different?
we try something different. Yeah, so definitely there's always the apps.
You talk a bit about your heritage, and am I right in saying South African?
So my grandmother was from Malawi.
Malawi.
She's born there.
Okay.
But my mum's born here, born and bred, and my dad's from India.
And Africa food is a big thing because
Yes, it is.
I have East African heritage, and it's a big thing. What inspires you?
It would have to be growing up with my grandmother, spending time with my mother, and that was probably my inspiration. And also now with the feedback that I get from everyone, people's pictures, positive stuff, they tell me that inspires me to continue with what I'm doing and carry on.
Okay, right. Got a question for you now.
Okay.
It's more of a scenario, okay? I want you to imagine, right? It's the night before Eid.
Yeah.
You're at home. You're prepping for the big day.
Yeah.
And the phone rings. Okay? It's Buckingham Palace. It's the private press secretary of King Charles. Okay? And he's saying, Anisa, the king wants for his coronation a 3-course meal that reflects a fusion of British Asian cuisine. A starter, a main, and a dessert. Mm-hmm. What do you cook?
Never thought of
See,
that.
Radio 4 would never ask you that question, would they?
They didn't. They should have, shouldn't they?
Yeah.
Okay, right. It's a teamwork, right?
Yeah. Oh, well,
really?
come on. You can help out. So a starter that reflects British Asian fusion. So something that celebrates you as a British Muslim woman, but pays respect and homage to your heritage.
So I'll probably start off with some. So you have like fish and chips, but masala fish.
Yep. Good choice.
Yeah.
Like a Amritsari fish type thing. Yeah. Okay.
I have an idea as well.
Nicely presented.
Steak and mashed pastries. That's quite English, isn't it? Steak
Yeah.
and mashed.
Yeah. Okay. No, but I like the masala fish. Okay, that's a starter. What's for main?
Main. That's a bit of a hard one.
Jacket potato with a butter chicken filling.
I like that. Okay, Adam.
Okay.
New book deal coming up your way. Love that. Okay, so jacket
taking
potato
over
with
now.
the
He's
butter
taking
chicken
over.
filling. Well, it's obviously your influences. You know.
Of course it is, yeah.
Right. All right. So jacket potato. Okay. Anisa, dessert.
Oh, dessert would be a ras
And I
malai.
think coronation. It's got to be regal. Okay, something majestic, something that's going to instantly give you diabetes the moment you eat it.
That has to be the ras malai milk cake, I think.
Or a gulab jamun cake or something like
A gulab jamun cake, yeah,
I would probably
with like
say.
saffron and
All
rose,
the
syrup and
trimmings,
everything.
yeah, pistachios and all that
I
good
think
stuff.
so. Yeah.
And you'd be serving it there in front of King Charles, and you're thinking,
Or a cheesecake, gulab jamun cheesecake or something.
okay, yeah.
I think
That's
you'd like that.
quite heavy and quite divine and quite syrupy and
Quite syrupy, yeah.
diabetes, I think.
So if you do get that call on the night before Eid, just saying, okay, just saying right now.
Okay.
All right. Let's go to the text now. Hey, Irfhan, the butter chicken recipe goes down a treat in our house, especially when I cook it. The kids tell their mum it's far better than their cooking. Big shout out to brother Ahmed there. The brothers are doing it for themselves. So well done. See, again,
Amazing.
you're
That's
inspiring
really
the brothers to
Especially
get in the
that
kitchen.
one's a really easy recipe as well, because I've made it in our house as well. I've made the butter chicken recipe and it's quite good.
Yeah, you've made it. Okay, there you go. Right, this is Drive Time with brother Irfhan. Assalamu alaikum. Loving the show, but all this talk of butter chicken is making me very... We've said butter chicken so many times in the program today. What's going on, people? It's making me very hungry. It's lucky that my lovely son is cooking that for me tonight. Congratulations, Anisa, on your book. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give you continued success. That is from Sister Nazira in Highfields, who's also one of the presenters on Ramadan FM.
Oh, thank you so much.
But you've
Sister Nazira.
inspired Nazira's son to make butter chicken.
Fantastic. Send me a picture if you know.
Send a picture, Nazira.
On Instagram. You got to send me a picture and
Yeah.
I'll share it, of course.
Butter chicken Zindabad. That's what I'm saying right now. Yeah.
Everyone-
Hajj was
What about
laughing.
the-
Yeah,
chicken.
it's all about the butter chicken, I think.
BC in the house. Come on.
Yeah.
Right. Enough of that stupidness. Okay. So we talked about King Charles' coronation menu. We had the Amritsari fish and chips,
Yes.
masala fish and chips. We had the jacket potato and butter chicken filling. Again, back to the BC. And then, what was it? The gulab jamun ras malai milk cake
ras malai
type
or-
thing.
Yeah, just munge it up. And
Yeah. Okay.
One of those.
So what are the Eid plans for you guys?
I think it's quite an easy one. I'll be making some dessert hopefully, and we've got it like.
What is the crowd pleaser when it comes to desserts?
Oh,
the one that you know is just going to go down a storm.
It would be normally it's ras malai because everyone loves that. It's light and airy, creamy.
Do you know, ras malai growing up used to be a treat for us. I remember we used to go to Ambala, get a packet. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
I know.
Yeah,
Chatsworth Street.
Yeah.
That's the one. That's the one in the ends. So that used to be a real treat for us. So okay, sorry to interrupt. Carry on.
That's okay. So that's a really popular one.
Yeah.
Or just school dinner cake, which is in my book as well and online, with the sprinkles. You know that one.
The chocolate sprinkles. Yeah, the rainbow sprinkles.
The rainbow sprinkles. That one. So it's like if you're late to order a cake or something, you just want to make an easy cake.
Yeah.
That's great for Eid. So I do normally make that.
Okay.
And everyone loves it.
And is everyone coming to yours for Eid, or are you going somewhere special?
We'll be going to my grandparents, and then we're going to Adam's grandparents as well.
Are they in Leicester as well?
Leicester. We're quite fortunate. All our families here.
Eid day for us is generally about eating and then just sitting on the sofa and not getting up for a couple of hours.
And trying to avoid going into a coma, right?
That's food coma. That's
the food coma.
And if the weather's good, then near my granddad's house, we've got a park, so we just sort of
go for a
there,
little walk.
take the kids, take some selfies.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Right, Anisa, we've got 4 minutes left of the program.
Great.
What advice would you give to up and coming social media content creators / cooking enthusiasts?
I would say if this is something that you want to do, definitely you got to go for it. Forget what anybody says, because you might get people along the way who might say, oh, what do you want to do that for? So don't listen to anyone. Just go for it. You don't need a lot of equipment either. Camera phone is fine. Just test the recipe out. Start with something simple. Create something that you're comfortable with and you know that, okay, I'm going to be okay with that. If it does go wrong, don't give up. Because I've had so many mistakes and I've made loads of mistakes in the kitchen where I've done loads of things. And I think, oh gosh, but I've never gave up. And also, I've had a supportive family, so it's nice to have people around you.
Encouragement.
That's definitely. To always push you and always sort of accept, these things. It happens, and
once you get a bit of a following, you'll know what kind of food your followers like. So try and be an expert in that kind of a niche, I guess. Because like when Anisa started,
not to sort of flick around and think, okay, I'm not doing that.
Don't try different things.
Do what you know.
Do what you know.
Do what you know.
Be an expert in that.
And what you're comfortable with, and always stay humble and grounded. I think that's very important.
Best advice so far. Stay humble, stay grounded. Inshallah, Allah will open up the doors of success for you. Ameen. The Halal Food Festival is coming up.
Yes, it is.
Are you going? Are you exhibiting? What's your input going to be into the festival?
I think we're still in talks, aren't we? See how that goes.
We've not had a chance to think that far ahead even, I think.
Yeah.
We normally do the one in London. The London Halal Food Festival. There's London Eid as well. And there's
if you've got any complimentary tickets, I'm just here right now.
Now we got your number.
Just drop your text every time, no problem. Okay, great. I've lost my question now. Old age. I was going to say something, but it's totally escaped my mind. No, listen, thank you so much for coming on the program today.
No, thank you for having us.
Here's my question. I remembered now.
Oh, great.
Would you like to do another book?
Yes, of course. I've got so many more recipes I want to share. Yeah, definitely.
Was it quite hard, leaving some recipes out and just thinking?
Of course it was. Yeah, there's so many I wanted to put in there. New, even the old ones, because I get a lot of people telling me that I love can you have it all written down somewhere?
There's a lot of online favorites that people wanted to see in the book, but we had to keep most of them new recipes exclusive to the book.
Yeah, because people can just think, I won't buy the book. I'll just, okay.
But you'd be surprised, people still wanted old ones. They always... The
classics.
They want it in one place. Yeah.
Okay. Right, a couple of questions. Anisa, does she do food for outside? I think someone thinks you're a caterer.
I used to.
You used to, yeah?
Yeah, I used to. All those days
not
are gone
anymore,
now. Not anymore.
Don't have the time, right? Don't have the time. Okay, well, listen, Brother Adam, Sister Anisa, Jazakumullah khair for taking time out today and coming. It's been an absolute blast talking, cooking, and everything associated with it with you. Please come and visit us again on Drive Time. Wish you a fantastic remainder of Ramadan and Eid Mubarak. Last message to your followers.
Again, I would probably say thank you to everyone who's supported me and who's been there. And keep doing what you're doing. Carry on cooking. And don't let anything put you off if you have made any mistakes in the kitchen or anything. And just thrive and do what you're, if you do want to do cooking, getting into there, then just go for it.
There it is, folks. Just thrive. That's the message from Anisa Grams. This has been Drive Time. I've been Brother Irfan. You've been a fantastic audience. Jazakumullah khair for your listening this afternoon. Make sure you join me tomorrow, where tomorrow our guest is going to be BBC Radio Leicester presenter Sumaya Mughal, and she'll be talking about her swimming adventures on the back of her successful podcast, The Brown Girl Can't Swim. So make sure you tune in 5 p.m. every single day. Stay safe. Make dua for everyone. Remember us in your duas. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.